Since my dad's transplant operation, I have been understandably reevaluating a lot of things, and some of my goals I have now reprioritized. There's one goal in particular that has just jumped to the top of my list. So I want to make a series where I talk about how I'm creating my dream life, like what I'm doing, what I am not doing, my thoughts on like manifesting, all that type of thing. And the journey starts here at Aldi. I'm just about to go in and do a weekly shop for myself. So let's go. Okay, so here's the deal. One big goal of mine has always been to either build or buy my forever home, like the home that I will settle down in and hopefully live out the rest of my days. And all of my homes thus far, both like as a single woman and also as a married woman, have always felt temporary to me. Like I always knew I wasn't going to live there forever. I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life there. So it's kind of always been in the back of my mind. But you know, since my dad got sick and stuff, I'm really now thinking about my future, what I want from it, how I want to spend the rest of my days. So it has got a big shove on the top of the priority list, and I know that it's still a few years out, but things like that require a lot of prep, like planning and stuff, but also saving, which is where Aldi comes in. Not sponsored or anything, but the regular grocery store we go to is expensive and getting more expensive by the minute. And Sam and I sat down recently and we decided that we would make a real effort to reduce our spending for a start. And one of our biggest expenses, apart from our mortgage, is groceries, or just food in general, really. So we have decided we're not going to do any takeout, we're not going to get food delivered. We're going to cut back on the amount of junk food and meat that we're getting, because those are kind of the two big expenses as part of groceries. And yeah, we were going to switch to a different supermarket to see if we could cut back a lot on our spending. My only concern is the middle aisles in Aldi, you know, where they keep like all the random stuff. I mean, I nearly lost it today. They have loads of really great stuff, particularly like organizing bins and things, which I love, but I stayed strong, kept my focus. What really helped was, and this was kind of part of our plan as well, was to do out a very rough meal plan for the week, to just kind of list some meals that we liked, and then I sat down and wrote a list based on the meals that we would like to eat over the next week, and then I stuck to that. I went to the store and I stuck to the things that we needed, which means I spent less money, and also hopefully there would be a lot less food waste. So before all the freezer stuff melts, I'm going to put this away, but then I want to talk about, you know, how I am planning this, like what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, how I am manifesting this dream life of mine. And a kind of common piece of manifesting advice that I just don't think, like, it's just not going to work in this situation. I know a lot of people hate shopping. I personally don't mind it, but I do hate putting it away at the end, and I can't even let my husband do it because he doesn't put things in the right places. So I end up just redoing everything. Anyway, okay, let's talk manifestation. And then afterwards I will show you my little vision board for this new dream life that I'm planning. I do not like the word manifestation for a start. I have major problems with the whole law of attraction, The Secret. The main thrust of it is it can be very victim blaming. I feel like if bad things happen to you, it's because you willed them into existence or whatever. It was because of your bad thoughts. I have a major problem with that. But Manifesting in the sense of creating something by focusing your time, your effort, your energy, your attention on something specific and putting intention and commitment behind that, that I can get on board with. Like, that's just common sense. But one of the biggest things I've seen around this, and I actually watched a video on it just yesterday, which is why it's kind of top of mind for me, is this idea that one of the ways to manifest your dream life is by acting as if you had that dream life right now. So doing things that are in alignment, or being the person that you want to be. What are the actions I would take? What are the types of foods I would eat? What are the types of exercises I would do? What are the habits and routines I would have? And you kind of do those now in the present moment. And that's all well and good, but sometimes doing that can actually have the opposite effect of what you want. And that is why I am focusing right now on saving a lot of money. Because if I were thinking, okay, in my dream life, I am wealthy, I have an abundance of money, I live in my dream home, I would be spending and shopping as if I had a lot of money and as if I had my big sprawling country estate. Obviously, by doing that, I would actually just be bankrupting myself in the here and now. So it does not make sense for me in that situation to live as if I were already in that dream life. It's kind of like a fake it till you make it situation. You know, they say in the law of attraction, the secret, that like attracts like. So if you act like and you live like you have that life, you will attract that to you. But the big problem I have with that is, you know, and I read this in a book once, and I've read it in multiple different places. This whole idea that says that like attracts like, that it is some kind of universal law, that it is a fact. You know, like attracts like, that's how the system works. But I don't know. I'm like, magnets didn't get the memo. Like doesn't always attract like. So it's not always the case that if you act in a certain way, you will create this certain type of life. Like I said, if I acted in such a way that I was abundant in money and I was very wealthy and I had like a bottomless bank account, I would not end up in that situation. I would end up with nothing. However, like I said, I do feel that being able to visualize something or planning and prepping for something is important, because it gives you a better idea of what to look out for and what your actual wants and needs are. So let me show you my vision board of my future home. Now I'm still building this out. Like right now I really just have the grounds, you know, like the landscape around the house, but I'll show you what I have thus far. So here we go. It is aptly and imaginatively named Forever Home. One of the big things that I would really love to have is a woodland area, just a lot of wilderness, a lot of land around me, and then ideally it would have some walking trails like through the trees, real kind of like country, like old stone walls. I just love that whole idea. Also this kind of idea of having separate spaces, you know, having wilderness and beautiful blooms, but also some open lawn, just kind of creating almost like a secret garden effect. Really love that idea. Not necessary, but I would love to have a water view. Now, I do not like water. I do not like being in water. Freaks me out. But having a view of water from a safe distance, I find that very calming. So either the sea, an ocean, or even a lake, I think that would be lovely. I would definitely like to have a pond. We have a pond here at our current house, and I just love watching the ducks and the fish. I find it very calming. Just brings me a lot of joy. So I really would like to either have a natural pond or create a man-made large pond on the property and have some fish and ducks and just general wildlife. I think that would be really great. In general, I just want a lot of greenery. A lot of lush grass, flowers, trees, shrubs. I think I would like to have chickens. I would love to be somewhat sustainable, not completely self-sufficient or anything, but some form of sustainability. So a chicken coop for eggs and just for the fun of having chickens. They're great for so many different purposes. And also then if you come down here, like having some form of little vegetable patch for myself where I can grow some vegetables, maybe some fruits, and yeah, just kind of live off the land a little. Like I said, I won't be entirely self-sufficient, but yeah, that would be nice. And I would absolutely adore a wildflower meadow. Really, really love that idea. But yeah, I think you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going for. It's like it's a lot of wilderness, it's a lot of trees, it's a lot of lush greenery, some sustainability, focused on kind of like wildlife, and yeah, just a very rural setting and feel. So that is the life that I am trying to create or manifest for myself. I'm giving myself a very clear picture on what I'm looking for. Not manifesting it in the sense that I just think good thoughts and assume that they will come to me. No, putting in the work behind it and not living as if I had all of the money to do all this right now, but being practical and saving right now so that in the future I have enough set aside to actually turn this dream into a reality. I'd love to share this journey along the way, like all of the steps that I am taking to actually create this life for myself. And yes, some of that will involve living as if I have that dream life. And that's really just a matter of putting routines and habits in place right now so that when the time comes, I am better able to step into that life. For example, you know, getting much better at growing my own food right now, you know, learning all of the lessons and the mistakes so that when I have my dream property, I can just dive straight in and have an abundant garden. But also, like I said, all of the ways that I am planning, saving, researching, prepping, and creating opportunities or looking for opportunities to turn this into a reality. I feel like even though I am a very ambitious, goal-driven person in general, I'm not always proactive. You know, sometimes I can be a bit passive. I can set a goal for myself and just kind of assume that it will happen sometime down the line. And that's definitely what I've been doing with this goal for myself. You know, I've had this goal of creating this dream property for myself or this forever home, but never actually did much about it, to be honest. It was always just in the back of my mind, like a someday plan. Not even a plan, just like a dream, wishful thinking. So yeah, I'm going to make this into a series, but what is one goal that you are now going to be proactive about pursuing? I'm going to share a playlist right here of all of my goal setting and goal achieving videos, but I'm really excited about this adventure as I create my dream life. Until next time, go raibh míle maith agaibh. Agus feicim mé sibh go luath. Slán!